today is the day. It is moving day. We have 7 big aquariums that we're moving into Quinn's brand new classroom. There's so much more room for activities, and we cannot wait to put all these aquariums in here and show you what we got. But Quinn, are you ready to move all these tanks?
Let's dive right in.
So we are currently in the disaster zone known as Quinn's old classroom aquarium. But as we showed in the last video, there are 7 aquariums in here that we have to move. We got a cart ready here. Quinn, what's the process gonna be?
We are gonna start draining one aquarium at a time. As the water level is starting to get lower, we're going to net the fish out and put them in a bucket with the already established aquarium water. And then we're gonna quickly move it to my new classroom, fill it up as soon as possible, and then obviously put the fish back in the aquarium. That's gonna be times 7. And one of the biggest challenges is the new program that is moving into my classroom. All of their boxes and things are in here. So not only are we gonna have to do all the aquarium stuff, but we're also gonna have to move around some stuff to make sure that we have an easy path to get out of the classroom with the aquarium.
So it's gonna be a long, hopefully fun day in the end, but we will see. Hopefully no disasters happen. You ready to go?
You know it's gonna be a long day when Troy gets here at 8 a.m.
I actually woke up so early that I actually wore flip-flops on accident, so that's always great.
Idiot. But I do want to say I really appreciate all the help, Alec. I hope you're enjoying your nice, peaceful, relaxful morning. In reality, Alec couldn't make the trip up. He is about 4 hours south and had some obligations, but I know he would be here in spirit.
Normally Quinn's the one not doing work. Look at Alec.
Here we go.
The first tank we're going to move is this 55 gallon, which has nothing in it, so it's going to be the easiest. We're just going to drain out the water, which has just been sitting here empty for a while. Quinn has plans to stock this tank once it's in the new classroom, but for now we're just going to get it moved over there, and it'll be a good first trial.
All right, so now I just got to break down the equipment.
Probably the most annoying part is going to get all the lights and filters and heaters organized and off these tanks.
All right, so we got the 55 done. Now we're going on to the 29. We're actually not gonna fish these guys out because it's such a small tank. We can just drain the water just a little bit and then we can still move it. So these are the 2 easiest ones we're gonna start with just so we get our feet wet. Now we're on to the real thing. Troy just connected the FX6 pretty easily. But we're starting to drain the biggest 110 custom aquarium. Once we get the water a little low, we will fish out the 4 silver dollars in the sub-room and rush it over to the new classroom.
This one's gonna be a beast.
Got it.
We have 3 of the silver dollars and the huge sub-room in here, and Quinn has got the last silver dollar coming now.
2. What? I don't know if I can do it. I just am worried about the initial. If it wasn't so high, I would feel a lot better.
You could take out some of those rocks. Each rock like 5 times.
Dude, I don't know. I'm nervous.
Go or no?
No.
For the record, Quinn was the one that said he was scared of dropping it.
Terrified. 3, 2, 1. Got it. We're good. Yeah, no problem. Go. We got it. All right, let's go. We got it up. That was way harder than we thought. Troy had the good idea to remove the rocks, and then we actually got a bucket of sand out of there too. Hardest part was once we got here, we couldn't get it to the very tabletop height, but eventually when we got the sand out, we got it up. So Troy's putting the sand back in, and hopefully we can get this thing set up as soon as possible. That was hard. All right, so we got the 110 in the new classroom. Troy is out there still setting it up, but we are gonna divide and conquer. So Troy is going to be setting up the aquariums while I come back and break down the next one. We really hope this speeds up the process and we can get this ball rolling. So we'll see how it goes.
All right, next up is the 90 gallon with the green tear, Jack Dempsey, and convict. So we're just netting out the fish, tanks drained. We have 4 of the 7 tanks moved. This is number 5. Okay, so here's the process for each of the tanks we've done. This is the 90 gallon. And we start rolling, and you can see we have the suction cups. Those have been huge. I don't know how we could do this without the suction cups. And every time we move tanks, we have those. But we have multiple long hallways to get through to get to Quinn's new classroom. And yeah, the cart and suction cups are key.
This makes you question how dedicated to the hobby are you? Oh my gosh.
Quinn's stressing. And our last hallway is 121. That means we've been at it for 4.5 hours now? Or no, 5 hours. 5.5. Current situation is we have the 55 gallon moved and in place. We're probably not going to fill this guy back up until Quinn actually gets fish for this tank. Then we have the 110. This is our big custom aquarium, the biggest tank Quinn has. It is almost full. Everything's set back up and running. And then we have all the fish we caught ready to go in the tank in just a second. We are going to be getting our next 75 gallon tank here, the Mbuna tank. Quinn is currently in the other classroom draining it. We have the 29 gallon right there. It is all set up and good to go. Sorry if you can hear some noise, the python is running. And then over here, we have one of the 90 gallons moved. I'm going to start filling this guy up next. The fish are in a bucket as well. And then we have the 75 gallon right here, and we are going to be filling this up third, moving the fish in. And then we have the 90 gallon going right here with the yellow jacket. So that will be the last tank we move in here. Quinn is going to be draining that tank in the other room as well. So things are coming along nicely. It is quite the day. Quinn is stressing, but hopefully we can get this all finished. We both have plans that we have to get out of here in the next 2 hours. And honestly, it's been a long day already, so hopefully we get this all ready to go. We got the 90 and the 75 going, and Quinn is rolling in with the other 75. Got all the Mbuna, right?
Yeah.
So you can see these are the inhabitants from the 90 gallon, and then all the Mbuna. It's been a process. Here is where we are now. We have the 55 gallon that we showed earlier. The 110 is set up and ready to go. We're about to put the fish back in. The 75 gallon Mbuna tank is currently filling, and then we have the 29 gallon looking good. And then over here, we have the 90 gallon filled up. Everything is plugged in and running and going smoothly. We just need to put the fish back in here in a second. The heater is running to get the temperature back up to its regular temperature. And then the 75 gallon is filled up, and we just have to plug everything in, get Jack Jr. in there. And then Quinn is getting the last piece of the puzzle, which is the 90 gallon tank with a massive yellow jacket cichlid. And that guy is an absolute beast. He is the biggest fish Quinn has and probably the most beautiful. So we can't wait to get that 90 gallon in place here on the stand and complete the entire room. Hopefully everything goes smoothly. We've run into a few hiccups today, but overall it's been a pretty decent process.
I'm sorry, I fudged up, guys.
Okay, so that was a complete fail because we were off by 1/8 of an inch, and that was because on the first tank here we left too much space. This was just an oversight. We thought there was a little bit more room, but these are going to be really tightly packed together, so now we have to drain this so that we can move it just about an inch.
Don't cry, don't cry.
And then move this guy another inch, and then hopefully the yellow jacket will finally be there.
Holy moly, that was crazy. This thing's huge. Oh my gosh. All right, last aquarium. Let's go.
Sean's back.
Sean's back.
Okay. Like a glove.
Like a glove.
And it is. Officially no aquariums in my classroom for the first time in 6 years. It's so weirdly quiet in here. So it's definitely a little bittersweet here, moving out of my classroom, but I am really excited for the new beginnings. But there were a lot of really good memories that I had in this classroom, and I love the fact that I got to share that with all of you. And just thanks again for watching all of our videos. It means the world to us, and just trying to spread the joy of this hobby to anyone that wants to watch.
Quick update, it is 4:30. That means I've been here for 8.5 hours. Quinn actually had to leave because he had plans, so I am here finishing up. We have the tanks full over here. We have the 90-gallon filling right now. I'm gonna put some fish in, make sure things are hooked up, and hopefully finish up here. And then once the fish are in and everything looks good, I'm gonna hit the road. Quinn's gonna come back tomorrow and provide a better update on all the tanks. So let's go ahead and get those fish in. Okay, now for Jack Jr. Looking stressed, but a big guy with some great color. Back in his tank in the upgraded classroom. Next up are the Mbuna. Yellowtail ACI here. Probably need to get a bigger net. Yellow Lab, another ACI. Yellow Lab and a Johanny. And last but not least is the beast, the yellow jacket cichlid. Actually, let me grab the camera, see how big this guy is. All right. He is a monster, definitely like the full size of this bucket. I would guess probably 11, maybe 12 inches. Just an absolute beast. All right, here we go. Oh. Come on, buddy. Easy, easy. Whew. I think he was biting the net. He wouldn't let go. And he splashed the hell out of me. Okay guys, so all the fish are in the tanks and I am exhausted. Quinn's been gone for about an hour. Let's take a look at the fish real quick and then hopefully Quinn can get a better look when he gets here. All right, here's the yellow jacket, looking absolutely incredible, even after a day of a little bit of stress for him. Just an absolute beast. The 75-gallon tank, got Jack Jr., he's doing pretty good. Some of the tanks are still heating up to their full temperature since we kind of ran out of hot water doing all of this. In the 90-gallon, we have the Green Terror looking great. Couple Jack Dempseys, couple Odessa Barbs, couple Convicts. Looks like they're settling in as well. And then when you go over here, this was the first tank we moved and it is doing the best. The Rasboras, which are about 7 years old now. I used to have them in my fish room actually. The mono shrimp, a couple neons. This is kind of a holdover tank until Quinn figures out what he's going to do totally with this tank. I feel like he should do a Planet Aquarium here. This tank was one of the most recent setups, so it's a little bit cloudy still, but all of the Mbuna seem to be settling in. Quinn also added some more Dragonstone to this aquascape, so once it clears up, I think it's going to look great. And then here's the 110 looking really good, already crystal clear. Silver dollars are huge. Looks like they're settling in. And then that really big Severum. This is the mouth brooding Severum, and it is one of the biggest I've ever seen. Like I said, it looks like he's settling in. So much more to come here too, because Quinn is going to be stocking this with a few more fish. And last but not least is the 55-gallon, and Quinn also needs to set this up and stock it. So there's so much happening with this classroom aquarium, not just moving all these tanks in, but updates to come.
3 days later.
All right guys, so we made it to the first day of school and I'm happy to report the tanks held up and all the fish survived. The tanks are looking pretty cool, so let's go check it out. Start here on the right side, going to the 90-gallon. Everything looks pretty good, water's looking great, fish are looking great. The convicts are really growing, which is awesome to see. Got the Green Terror right here. Cannot wait to see this guy grow. Jack Dempsey. So I'm hoping that these guys grow a little bit more now that we are done with summer and I can give them a normal, regular feeding schedule. Then we got Jack in here, looking pretty awesome. Don't mind the smudges on the tank. Gotta do some TLC work there. Then we got the big dog, the yellow jacket, wanting to be fed per usual. He is really colored up since we moved him in here, which is awesome to see. This guy's an absolute stunner. All right, now moving over to the other 12-foot stand. Got the 29 gallon here with the Harlequin Rasboras and a couple neon tetras. You got the Amano shrimp down here. This tank's a little dirty. You need to do some work on it. With all these aquariums, I have not been able to do a real deep cleaning yet. So the next update, hopefully these tanks are gonna be looking a lot better. The Mbuna are still active as ever, ready to be fed. Got a little bit of a different rockscape there. Still need to clean the glass, some of the algae. And we got the 110 gallon here. Move the flipper, but this tank is super clear. You got the huge Severum right here. This guy's an absolute monster. I love that bright red eye. And you got the silver dollars. All right, so I could not be happier with how my classroom turned out. I'm so happy and thankful for Troy helping move the aquariums, Sean with the aquariums and building the stands, and obviously my school admin for allowing this to happen, that I can share this experience with all my students and hopefully grow the hobby through my students as well. There will be tons of updates coming on this classroom. I already have big plans and expansions to come, so you definitely want to stay tuned. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you next time.